What up, gang? Happy Thursday. Another day, another dollar. Well, for me, a very small amount of dollars, but hey, I got a job. No, I'm just kidding. But I hope everyone's having a good week as usual. Once again, I'm going to start off as please throw me a bone, throw a dog a bone, like, comment, subscribe. It takes you 2 seconds. It helps me out so much. Do your good deed for the day. I'd really appreciate it. Be a good person. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. Imagine trying to use that to guilt trip you. Also, once again, like I said, I'm dying on this hill. Please, please, please call in. Link in bio. I'm going to mention it every single episode until people start calling in, then I could finally stop. Anyways, today's episode, today's topic is a bit different. We are going, or, okay, for the next couple episodes, they're going to be different. But we are going to be asking ourselves, and I'm going to be answering deep philosophical questions for the next 3 to 4 episodes. I just want to see if that interests you guys. Just and so, for example, today's today's question is it's pretty deep. Would you rather never know love or spend your life missing it? Put this away. But interestingly enough, and this one really caught my attention because unfortunately, I that answer or my the answer to that question was actually chosen for me, not by me, just the way my life has gone. But yeah, if I'm being real, I could truly say there's been one person in my life that truly loved me. And what I mean by that is they actually loved me 1,000 times more than they loved themselves. They put me in front of them. They did everything they could, right? And unfortunately, it didn't work out. And this was a long time ago, anyways. But my point is, now I do live a life where I'm missing missing the feeling of love, longing for it. And it hurts, right? And it sucks. But if I had the choice, what would I choose? Well, especially with my experiences, well, let's get into it. So basically this question is asking, right? I guess let's just break down what is the question asking? Well, would you rather never feel love or would you feel love but it didn't work out and now you're just going to be missing it, longing for it for the rest of your life? And I think this is a pretty deep dilemma because it's basically asking you, well, do you want a life of peace without fulfillment or do you want a life of fulfillment without any peace? But let me explain that a little more. So let's talk about the first answer. Okay, or the first choice. So you live a life without love. Well, what does that even really mean? Well, that means you're not attached to anybody. You've never been hurt by anybody. You can't be hurt by anybody. Your emotional landscape. So the landscape is just flat, it's smooth, it's peaceful. Yeah, your life is peaceful, right? You're safe. You're not, you don't have to worry about someone else. You don't have to worry about getting hurt. You're good. You're okay. But the biggest negative downside, and I think this is why people would not really choose this option that much, is because you are missing out. If you have never felt love from someone else, you are missing out on one of life's most important, or like this purpose, like one of the main purposes of life, right? You're missing out on one of the things that truly fulfills people. And that's why people get together and have families in the first place because it's fulfilling, makes them happy, and you're basically going to miss out on that, and you're never going to experience one of life's big, like, you're basically gonna miss out on one of the main reasons to even live in the first place. So there's that, right? Now, let's go to the other side. So you felt loved and it didn't work out. So now you're constantly longing for love. You're hurt. You're attached. You're sad. And your heart's just aching all the time, right? And that sounds terrible. And it is terrible. I experience it. Life, mm, it's just hard, I guess I'll say, right? Sometimes it's hard. And heartbreak. Not everyone's felt it, but a lot of people have. Heartbreak, as we know, is the worst feeling ever. It sucks. It literally, like, sometimes it literally feels like you got your heart ripped out of your chest and it got stomped on. But let's talk about the positives, right? Well, for example, you truly lived life. If you've been loved and you've loved, if you've been loved and you loved someone else, you've truly lived life. You truly experienced one of the best feelings ever. So it's funny because, like, I think about it, like, if I died today, what is something that I could say? Like, what, or I guess not something that I could say, but like, what would I be at peace if someone asked me, "Yo, are you at peace? Are you happy?" And I'm not gonna lie, I am happy with my choices in a way. It hurts and it sucks, but I've truly lived, truly experienced like one of the best things you could ever experience. I truly experienced something that kind of brings color into your world, and I've truly just have lived life a bit. So if I died today, I could at least say, well, I've loved and felt loved. So and that and that's okay. Like, and I'd be a bit at peace with dying because of that. But the interesting thing is, I think, like, I guess my bias, because I felt this feeling before, I would say, okay, well, I think most people would choose the second choice of I'd rather have felt love, it didn't work out, and now I'm always missing it. But with this new generation, I don't really know. And that's because no one's really dating. I don't even know if people are really into dating anymore. The dating scene's awful. Modern dating sucks, I've always talked about. And it's kind of sad. But yeah, I guess if I had to live again and kind of choose, I would choose the second option every single time, even though my heart's broken and there's a lot of scars on it from that. And it's done a lot of damage, but I'm happy I got to experience it. You know what I mean? But I do sometimes wonder what would life be like if, like, what does a life look like where you're just it's just peaceful. Maybe you're not fulfilled, but you're at peace. Nothing ever bothers you. Everything is steady. I must feel pretty good too. So it's a hard choice. And I think people just jump to their choice right away when they hear that question, or when they're gonna hear a lot of these other questions. But because I have a lot, and they're all pretty interesting. But yeah, what would you choose? I'm curious. Can you comment down below? I'm curious what you guys would choose. I don't know what the numbers would be, but I'm guessing, like I said, but it could just be biased that you guys would choose, or most people would choose. People would choose to love, but to always miss it, because at least they lived life, right? And I'm about to go on a little tangent, I guess, about life. Life is so short, so we should always just be trying to live to the fullest and doing and experience as much as possible. And there's like a lot of things are subjective, right? Oh, like you should skydive, that's really exciting. Or you should drive a fast car, or you should do this, down, that, third, whatever. But I think something that's a bit more factual is be like of and a bit more okay. Something that's a bit more factual is that loving someone and being loved is probably the best and one of the most fulfilling things possible, and one of the top 3 reasons people live. And I mean, you could see it. Think about how many families there are. Think about your parents. They love each other. Think about your grandparents. They love each other. You know what I mean? So then that's more factual. Like, it's like the proof is in the pudding there, right? So, but anyways, I guess my message for this video was just I'm just curious what this generation is thinking about love, their ideas on it. I think it's important. I hope everyone can experience it someday. And yeah, once again, thanks for watching. I know this was a short episode. As of right now, I'll be in Hawaii running a marathon. But yeah, I'll keep bringing these questions. I'm just curious what people think. I'm really curious about this generation because I think that it's so different than the past ones. And but this is a hard question to ask. So I'd hope before you answer, you really think about it. Anyways, have a good weekend. Peace.